Hey there, hopefuls, and welcome back to season 2 of the Hopeful Simplicity podcast. We're going to continue with our 15-minute finds to build on those small space successes and talk more about some common organizing situations, questions, and topics. I can't wait to continue to simplify, sort, and sustain our organized and less stressed lives together. So let's jump in. In today's 15-minute find, we're going to the living room. Okay, as you look around your living room, how do you have things sorted? Is it kind of like, I don't know, stuff just came in and fell wherever? I want you to think about sorting either your living room space by color or collection. So collection could be, let's say your living room has 3 key colors. You have a blue, orange, and white, right? Are your 3 key colors for the room. Decor, feeling, vibe, whatever that may be. And so in each section of your space, you've got a couple shelves that have each of those colors on it, right? You've got a pillow for each of those colors. Maybe there's a blend of them in your curtains. Those are sorting by color, right? But you've blended them. Like each zone has that feel on it, right? So it's consistent throughout the room. The other thought could be by collection. Maybe you keep all the candles in one spot, all the movies in one spot, all the linens in one area. So color and collection are the ways I want you to look around your living room and go, do I want to sort these by color or collection, or just kind of go zone by zone and see what happens? But that's what I want you to focus on sorting and organizing today. Now set those timers and tune in as we talk about today's organizing topic.
Hey Melissa, how long does it take to get organized?
Today's topic is brought to you by the Small Space Successes book series. From determining your personal organizing style to implementing the 3S method, the Small Space Successes series has you covered. Order your copies on Amazon and get your hopeful organizing journey started today.
Have you seen the movie The Sandlot where the kids are doing, it's a baseball movie, like a kid's baseball movie? I may have just reflected my age there. And then there's this scene that forever is the memory. That's sometimes how long it can feel when you're getting organized. So how long does it take to get organized? I like to tell people to give themselves a year before they actually feel like there's a difference. It can feel like that's forever ever though, especially if you're having a year, right? Like that's 12 whole months. But think about this, right? Clutter doesn't happen overnight. Habits don't just appear. Things don't just show up on your shelves. Accumulation doesn't happen immediately. It happens over years normally. If you got married, had some kids, they grew up, moved out, and you're still in the same house 40 years later. That's 40 years of possible accumulation. So shifting your mindset, shifting your habits, shifting how you do things can take a while. And especially if you're used to, this is how I've always done it, this is how I usually do it, this is where it's always been, gets comfortable. If you're comfortable and this is how it's always been, I guess it's good enough, then shifting that to a different way of organizing can take time. Especially if it's piled up, it can take even longer. So when I'm asked, how long does it take to get organized? That question is kind of open-ended. But I like to tell my clients and hopefuls, give it a year. Give it a full year. Do it small spaces at a time. Doing it one small space at a time is going to make you stop, slow down, and actually set things up for your sustainable success. But you're not going to do all of that in a day. You're not going to get organized in a day. You're not going to change habits and routines in a week. You're not going to get the home team on board in less than a month. And I know that sounds, but you have to be patient with the process. That's why we take before and after pictures. That's why we have check-ins. That's why we have reminders. That's why we have a community going, okay, It may be overwhelming and stressful right now, but in 6 months, in 8 months, in 12 months, look at what you did, man. Look at that. Like, holy crickets. You look back on 12 months of doing small space successes and building sustainable organizing habits. Whoa, dude, you won't even know what's happening. You're going to get out of that mindset of this is how it's always been and ugh, and this is, I'm just messy, or I'm just, no. You're going to look back and you're going to be like, wow, that really did take a year, but look at me being hopeful. Look at my home team being on board and knowing where things go. And us as a group, as a family, have systems, have solutions, have things happening regularly now that are just not daily reminders or daily to-do lists. It's just part of it. It's like brushing your teeth. At one point in time, you had to have the reminder to brush your teeth. Hopefully it was when you were little and you grew out of that. But at one point in time, you had to have that reminder, right? At one point in time, I had to have the reminder to take my medicine in the morning. At one point in time, I had to have the reminder of insert here. At one point in time, you had to have the reminder to do a 15-minute check-in on a space. At one point in time, you had to have the reminder to do this habit every day, do this habit every week, do these routines and maintenance items quarterly, monthly, yearly. But now it's just, you don't need that habit reminder, right? You don't need that. I need the reminder to ... because it's a sustainable system that's in place. But building any good system for anything, but we're going to focus on organizing, takes time. It takes focus. It takes reminders at first, and then you build systems. It takes to-do list and help, and then you build routines. Before, maybe you needed to remind your family, hey, I cooked dinner, that means you're going to wash. But now, a year later, it's just habit, baby. It's just like, I don't need to remind anybody. I don't need to nag and complain. Yeah, it might be a rough year. There's going to be setbacks. There's going to be 2 forward and 1 back. But you're always progressing. Even on the bad days, you're always progressing. Staying hopeful is part of living that organized life and being aware that, you know what, this is going to be a lifestyle I'm building. I'm not going to get organized in a day. I'm not going to fix my clutter and chaos in a week or in a month. It's taken me 20 years to collect all this stuff, and I've gotten comfortable in these habits and these routines of, I'm stressed out, I'm going to shop. Oh, well, you know what? I've just always had this collection of music boxes. I guess I'll just keep it. Oh, well, I don't automatically know the right way to get rid of this, so screw it. I'm just going to keep it. Those things are heavy. Those things get accumulated, and it's going to take time to chip away at those things too. So you have to give yourself that time, that grace period, that season of life to shift into being hopeful, staying hopeful, maintaining an organized life, sustaining a habit with your home team. All of those things are going to take time. Now, if you are covered in clutter and complete chaos, and it's just too much. I have way too many little kids running around, Melissa. I don't have time for this. It might take a little longer. Maybe you take in the information, and then when time presents itself, the kids are in school or moved out or you retire, or time will present itself when hopeful is going to be the right journey for you. When it's time for you to embrace your organizing and a hopeful lifestyle. We're not all living the same season, right? We're not all in the same part of our life. A lot of my clients in the monthly group are retired. So they have a completely different life and schedule and routine than I do as a single mom that's still working full time. So you have to recognize where you are. Maybe what'll take 6 months for somebody over here in column A will take you 7 months. And that's okay, because everybody's journey is different. Everybody's way of organizing is different. So each path to getting there is going to look a little different. It's going to be specified and personalized for what works for you and your home team or your office team or wherever space you're focusing on embracing this style in. It's going to take time. And the more people there are involved or the more stuff there is, it's going to take just a little longer. But at the end, remember, like, we're shooting for that hopeful image at the end. I'm going to have an organized life, and I understand I'm going to do it one small space at a time. And I'm going to understand that sometimes I'm just too damn tired to work in a space, so I'm just going to make sure I have my daily habits done and call it good enough. And that's okay too. There are times where I'm just like, half the sink's empty. Do I really have to do them all today? Because I did the laundry and sometimes that's good enough. But it's understanding that you're in the lifestyle now. So tomorrow you're going to be back on track. Tomorrow we're going to do all the daily habits. And then the next day we're going to get back to doing all the daily habits and a small space step. Maybe we're just going to declutter the junk drawer really fast. Done. And then I did my daily habits. Great job. But it's knowing that it's not going to happen overnight. And it's not going to just be like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be hopeful. Ta-da! That's not how it works. It is snarky and sassy and hopeful, all combined into one magical organized life. But you have to give yourself the time to build it. You have to give yourself the time to adjust, to maybe try things out. Maybe you've simplified a space and you sorted it and you're like, ugh, this is just, so you have to get back to it. That's cool. Sort it again, because you're setting it up for sustainability, right? You're getting organized to be sustainable, to make cleaning easier, to make habits easier, to make everyday life less stressful. And it takes time to build success. So give yourself that time. Give yourself the grace to embrace where you are. And then you can walk along that path of an organized life and look back and be like, dude, I really did this. I'm glad I gave myself some grace and time and moment to realize that this is going to take a minute. You look at those before and afters and go, oh, okay. I didn't feel like it was perfect yet, but it's a lot better than where it was. We don't do perfect here. We do less stress. We do better than it was. Is it working for you? Great. What's next? So give yourself a year or longer or shorter, whatever you need. But if you feel like it's stressing me out and I can't do it all, then you're pushing yourself too hard. Give yourself, step back for just a minute and be like, okay, I thought I was going to do the whole garage this weekend. I only got to the tools and yard equipment. Dang it. Or I thought I was going to do all that, but I only got to this. Sweet. It's better than it was. I've made a step forward to accomplish my organizing and less stress lifestyle goals. And that is a good thing. It's just going to take a little longer than I wanted it to. And that's okay.
Today's episode was sponsored by the Monthly Membership Group. Are you looking for guidance along your organising journey? Ready to get some answers to your organisation questions? Or even just looking for some accountability in achieving your goals? The Monthly Membership Group can help with all of that and more. To see if the group is the right fit for you, find details and clips at hopefulsimplicity.com.
And that's it for today. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share this with all of your favorite friends. And until next time, stay hopeful.